talk a little Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom 13 does take place, I guess you could say, in about 24, 25, 26 hours. No, 25 hours. The pre-show starts at 11 p.m. Pacific Time, 2 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Going forward with the main card of the show is opening. The first match of the night for the never openweight title is Kota Ibushi defending against Will Ospreay. Don't tell me that's not match of the year quality right there. Like, what can really top that on this card? What can really top that on this card is baffling. Like, what? Honestly, I do think they should put the title on Will Ospreay because Kota Ibushi is an interesting factor here when you think about All Elite, especially if Omega leaves for All Elite. Maybe he takes his old buddy Kota with him as well. So I think Kota Ibushi, he has the title right now, but put it on Will Ospreay. Even if Kota Ibushi doesn't leave, maybe they can feud over it for a month or two. Next up, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles will be on the line when Kanemaru and Desperado defend against both Roppongi 3K and Bushi and Tagagi. I mean, this match should be a okay match. I mean, it's going to be tough with them having to follow Ibushi versus Ospreay. I feel like the crowd's going to be on such a high for that never openweight title match, and then it's like, oh, now we got these 6 juniors. But I think put it on Roppongi 3K. Why not? The fans that love Roppongi 3K. I think, why not? Put it on Roppongi 3K. Next up, going forward, we do have the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles on the line when the Guerrillas of Destiny will be defending against the Young Bucks and Evil and Sonata. I feel like just keep titles on the Guerrillas of Destiny. You want to build them back up anyways now that the Elite's leaving. You want to build them as this force that can bring, I guess you could say, bring Bullet Club into the new era of New Japan without Cody, without the Bucks, possibly without Omega, without Hangman. So you want to establish them as a good threat, not just be like, oh, those are those guys that used to be with the Elite. I say, Guerrillas of Destiny. Next match we got here with the Revolution Pro British Heavyweight title on the line. Tomohiro Ishii defending against Zack Sabre Jr. We've seen these guys battle a couple times over 2018, and I think this one, I love the clash of styles here. You just got the brute brawling strength of Ishii against the technical prowess of Zack Sabre Jr. Honestly, it doesn't really matter who goes over, so I say put the title on Zack Sabre Jr. Now the next one is kind of obvious. The IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship on the line. You've got Cody defending against Juice Robinson. With Cody going to All Elite Wrestling, basically leaving New Japan for as far as we know. And I know Cody would like to still work with New Japan, but as of right now, that's up in the air. So you got to put that title on Juice. Juice did lose a couple times to Cody over his time in New Japan, over Cody's time in New Japan. So I think finally is the time Juice gets that big win on the biggest stage they've got. Put that title on Juice. And usually, crowds cheer, but I think that crowd will maybe not erupt, but they'll go pretty good, go pretty wild when Juice wins that title, because Juice is a pretty big fan favorite over there. Next up, with the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship on the line, Kushida will be defending against Taiji Ishimori. I think Kushida keeps the title. I think you keep that title on Kushida. Kushida is a great junior heavyweight champion, and you keep that title on him because WWE is interested in him. You keep that title on him and you go, hey, we have faith in you. We want you to be our champion for the long term. Stick with us. That's another reason why you should keep the title on him. Keep it on Kushida. Now, the only match on the main card that is not for a championship, it's third from the top. It's Kazuchika Okada against Jay White. Now, Jay White's been getting the upper hand on Okada. He even had Gedo turn on Okada. And I think this is a tough one because I can weigh the options both ways. Okada should win because, his former mentor, his former manager turned on him. Jay White turned on Chaos and joined Bullet Club. So have Okada go over is just like the babyface does prevail in the end. But at the same time, you could say, well, Jay White's that next big star that's going to usher in the new era. So maybe you have Jay White go over, but I think in the end, Okada should go over. I know it's not going to be a favorable thing. A lot of people do think that Switchblade Jay White should go over, but I think Okada goes over. Next up, semi-main with the IWGP Intercontinental Championship on the line. Chris Jericho defending against Tetsuya Naito. I think it's a no-brainer. Put the title on Naito. Give Naito his IC title back. We don't know Chris Jericho's status following Wrestle Kingdom, but at the same time, we thought Jericho was one and done last year at Wrestle Kingdom, so maybe Jericho does stick around. But I think put that title on Naito. That's the way to go. Jericho won the last one. Naito can win this one, and if Jericho's willing to stick around, you do the rubber match. Sets up a third match possibly. And finally, in the main event, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship on the line, you've got Kenny Omega defending against Hiroshi Tanahashi. And here's my thing. Either way, if Omega is if Omega is leaving or staying with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tanahashi wins. And here's why. Tanahashi, now if Kenny's leaving New Japan, whether he goes to AEW or WWE, Tanahashi wins because, well, you got to take that title off of Kenny. Put the title on Tanahashi. But here's the other reason why I think Tanahashi could win, even if they know Kenny is re-signing. Tanahashi wins the title at Wrestle Kingdom. Then, in the main event of the G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden, Kenny gets his rematch against Tanahashi and wins the title in America. You have that big North American star go over in North America in Madison Square Garden. So those are my two predictions. Either way, I see Tanahashi coming out victorious after the great year he had last year. There's no reason you don't put that title on him. But, like I said, if Omega leaves, it's a no-brainer for sure. If Omega's staying, you put that title on Tanahashi just so Omega can then get that big win. WrestleMania weekend, Madison Square Garden in America. So those are my predictions for Wrestle Kingdom. Again, if you are unaware, Wrestle Kingdom will air tomorrow night starting at 11 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. Eastern. You can get it for, I think it's about $9.99 on New Japan World or $34.99 on the Fight app. And we will put a code up on our community tab that will get you $15 off if you do order it with Fight.